Alright everybody, welcome to a Replica Airguns video. This is a little bit of a mod video, and I was talking about doing a mod to my Cybergun Sig Sauer P226. This is an airsoft pistol, and because it came from the US, you can see here that it has the orange tip to it. Now this isn't a removable tip, it's actually painted right onto the barrel, and typically a SIG like this wouldn't have the barrel sticking out for any real reason unless there was a barrel length restriction going on. Like here in Canada, we do have barrel length restrictions that we're not allowed to have anything under just over 4 inches, 4.18 inches or something like that. But this gun would have a long enough barrel and it wouldn't require this in this configuration. So what I'm going to do today is cut off the barrel, and we have some tools here. I've got my hacksaw. I'm going to try a little touch-up paint. If I have to, I'll redo it, but we'll just use this for now for the filed off or cut off section. I've got some sandpaper and a file, and over here I've got my vise that I'm going to be using. So we'll get at it here. First thing I'm going to do is disassemble this gun. Alright. So we'll just take this part and get it right out of the way. We're going to remove some other parts here. This is a little tight in this area. That was great. It landed right in my dog food dish. We're in my garage here, and the spring came right off, so be careful not to lose this part. So this is the guide rod spring and spring setup here. So now we're going to take the barrel out. So we'll put the slide. We don't need the slide. We're basically just going for the barrel portion. Now, you don't really need to remove the inner barrel. There's no real need for it, but you can if you want to. It is a little tight, but I'm going to remove that just to get it out of the way. So now all we have is the outer barrel, just so I don't get any dirt on that inner barrel. And I'm going to put it in the vise at this point. And by the way, you can see here that we already have a line indicated. I'm going to basically just cut off just before the red. So hopefully once I'm done cutting, there'll just be a little bit of red left that I'll file down, because when you cut something like this with a hacksaw, you may not get a perfectly straight line. Like I'm doing this just by hand. If you have a machine, then you can be more accurate. I don't. So we're going to do it old school. You don't want to scratch things up, so it's always a good idea to use something to hold it in place while you cut. Make sure it's nice and firm and pretty. You want it fairly level, otherwise you're going to be cutting crooked. So make sure you're straight up and down, and make sure you're not going anywhere. Now don't use too much force. There's no need to go nuts. Like I said, the plan here is to cut with just a little bit of red showing. And the nice thing about this is this red line is going to help me make sure you check while you're going. Take your time. If you make a mistake, you're going to be wanting parts for it. It's going good so far. When you get through to the other side, take your time. And we're done. So there's our piece that we cut off. Okay. And here's the barrel. And it's obviously rough at this point, but you can see I still have a little bit of red left over. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work it down with the file so we can be more accurate with the file. So put that in there. Having a vise is definitely going to help me here. I'm just going to get the burrs off real quick. Okay. Now you can do this two ways. You can put this in the, you can put this unit in the and file it, which I might do as well. Might be easier. Now being that this is aluminum, it's going to work its way down pretty quick. See where we're at right now. Okay, so stop and check. Turn it a bit every once in a while. Getting down there. I'm just turning it as I sand or as I file, just to make sure I'm not doing one side too heavily. Looking good. Now I'm just gonna really lightly do the edges just to take off some of the sharpness. I'm just sanding it or filing it just a little bit on the edge, just to take off the rough edge. And I'm turning it as I'm rubbing it along here, with the butt a little bit towards the back of the file. Like I said, I just want to take off the rough edge. Looks good to me. Now, this is a little bit of a too gritty paper. I'm going to go down to a finer paper that I have here, just to get rid of any file marks. I'm going to use this paper. It's a very fine sandpaper. No sharp edges. I just want to do around the inside real quick. I'm just sanding off any of the burrs on the inside here. Alright, this looks great. Now you could essentially, if you wanted to, you could leave it the way it is or paint it. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to put the gun back together, and what I might do is just try a little paint on there and see how it goes. So I'm putting this piece back in here, and you look so what we did here, and you have to be careful of this, is we've actually bent it a little bit, or not we, me, and so I'm going to have to unbend this somehow. And when I was what I should have done, I guess, is actually put the vise on the back part, not the front part. So now I have to unbend this so that this piece fits in, which should be fun. Now it's not a very strong metal, so what I'm doing is I'm using these reverse crimpers to bend it out. So luckily, it's probably going to put a little bit of a mark in it, but you won't really see this, so it's the way it goes. Needs to go some more. So if you are doing this, my advice to you is to only crimp the front part, because the problem with the back part here, let's see here, so it needs to go a little more. Okay. Now, this part's always a little tight. Getting that part in here. It likes to hang up on the barrel. Now, I don't want this here to catch on anything, so I'm just going to file that down. Again, you're not going to see any of this once it's in the gun. So there's a bit of a burr on both sides of this. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. This is tight because the top of the barrel, you can see it. What you might have to do when you're putting this in is just flex the barrel a little bit there, because the barrel wants to grab on the top right in here. It wants to grab on a little burr in there, so you have to kind of push the barrel in. At least I found that works. Alright, so we're back together. You can't really see that mark that I made, so let's put the whole gun back together. Okay, put the barrel in first, the guide spring, there we go. Okay, got her in, and then this little piece here just fits back into this little hole. See it here? So I don't know if you see that little hole there. This just has to go into that hole, and it's all lined up now. You can see the barrel looks a lot better now. Much nicer, except for our guide spring is sticking out here for some reason. There we go. There we go. Okay, we're good. Everything's good. Much nicer, if I don't say so myself. And you know what? I think I'm going to leave the barrel tip silver. Why not? I don't mind it at all. I was going to paint it, but I think I'm going to leave it. You can actually see there's a bit of overspray from when they painted it, and I suppose you could go in there and you could actually sand that out. Now I might just do that, but you can see how this mod is done. Very simple, so I will probably just sand out that overspray for the heck of it, just because it'll look better, and so when I do my review you'll see that. Alright, very cool. So that does the mod here and gives you an idea of how to remove the painted barrel tips if they're non-removable, if they're not like some sort of glued on plastic part. Alright, thanks for watching another Replica Airguns video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Until next time, take care.